Hello viewers, may the peace and blessings of Almighty Lord be upon each one of us. On behalf of Independence Day, we have planned to come up with a series of 10 videos on Muslim freedom fighters. This will be the first of the 10 videos. The major part of the series will be from the book Bharatada Swatantra Chalavali Mattu Muslimaru, written by Asif Ali Engineer in Kannada language and published by Shanti Prakashana. Studying about the Indian freedom movement without studying Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan is impossible. They can be regarded as the first freedom fighters of India. The 18th century India was full of political conflicts, not only from within but also European invasion. The moral values within Indians were slowly dying. At this time, Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan from Mysore gained prominence in the political arena. Mysore had now become a well-established state within India. Tipu Sultan had sent ambassadors to Turkey in 1784-85 and to France and Germany in 1787-88. This idea of asking foreign help against Britishers was very unique at that time, and no one had given a thought about it. The fight of Tipu Sultan and Hyder Ali began and ended with a war against the Britishers. They devoted their life to this task. They had formed alliances with the Marathas and the Nizams of Hyderabad. Mysore under Hyder Ali was the learning center and hub of military tactics for the rest of Indian states. They were never scared of British army's might and strength. Alexander, in his historical writing, writes about Hyder Ali that it seemed as if the horse would fly over our forts with wings. The Mysore army won the first Anglo-Mysore War. This was for the first time that any Indian army had defeated Britishers. In this war, Hyder Ali's alliance took hold of many places with the intention to chase the Britishers away from India completely. Hyder Ali started the Second Anglo-Mysore War in 1780. The British army was brutally defeated and they ran as far as Kanjivaram on the eastern coast. Many British commanders and war heroes had to taste defeat. During the Second Anglo-Mysore War, when Hyder Ali was collapsing to death, he wrote a political manifesto to his son Tipu Sultan. It is as follows: "Son, I trust my kingdom to you. I have not received this from my ancestors. Any kingdom formed on clan wars is not stable but weak. This loud land of ours is divided into various provinces. Various provinces are always biting each other. Europeans are the main enemy of our land. Ask for foreign help to defeat them. Europeans are cunning. Use their tactics against them." These words of Hyder Ali is a proof that he had long back known that the whole India would come under Britishers if Marathas and Nizams did not stop fighting on petty reasons. Tipu Sultan was born on November 10, 1750 in Devanahalli near Kolar. He was called as Fateh Ali after his grandfather Fateh Muhammad. He used to go to battlefield at a young age with his father and was well versed in political and military tactics. Hyderabad's Nizam honored him with the title of Fateh Ali Khan, impressed by his prowess. When Hyder Ali conquered Madras in 1763, this was Tipu's first war experience. After First Anglo-Mysore War, Tipu tactically signed an agreement with the Nizam of Hyderabad. At this point, he had conquered up to Madras. Tipu formed an alliance with the Nizams and Marathas during Second Anglo-Mysore War. Britishers, knowing that they cannot win over Mysore, decided to break the alliance by luring the Nizam of Hyderabad and the Marathas. Even French did not support the alliance as they had signed a peace agreement with the British in Europe. Hyder Ali died of serious illness in the battlefield. Even after so many troubles, Tipu's army was able to defeat the Britishers, and the helpless Britishers signed the Mangalore Treaty, and then Tipu released the imprisoned British soldiers. Explaining about this incident, one French officer says so: There is no example of another defeat for Britishers in the Indian land. British officer, Governor of Madras, Thomas Munro, writes to his higher officer, "We have in the past made the decision to use the British as a fence against the Marathas without knowing it. The Marathas can never challenge us. Our real enemy is Tipu." During the Third Anglo-Mysore War, Britishers joined hands with the Marathas, the Nizams of Hyderabad, Kannagundi, Chikkaballapura, Punnagnuru, Madanapalle and Anekallu rulers, and many other rulers in the neighboring states. Tipu also lost the support of French. The British army entered up to Srirangapattanam. Tipu had no other option but to give up half of his kingdom and 3.5 crore rupees as war expense and sign a peace treaty. He had to keep 2 of his sons as hostages until he paid the money. Another incident of such kind where own children were kept as hostages were not seen in the history of India. Tipu fell as a brave martyr fighting against the Britishers in the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Tipu became a martyr for India's independence. With this, all obstacles to the Britishers extending their empire came to an end. Britishers had started to proclaim that India is now ours after the martyrdom of Tipu. The Britishers started to extend, opening all its branches. Tipu was the only brave Indian king who constantly faced the Britishers. No one faced the Britishers as bravely as Tipu. The fight of the poor against Britishers must be written in golden letters in the history. This fight of Tipu was that great. The only aim of his life was India's independence. He was ready to give up all his wealth to accomplish this task. He was also ready to keep 2 of his sons as hostile. Finally, he was ready to give up his life and died for the same cause. He constantly kept on saying that living like a tiger for one day is better than living like a fox for 100 years. He never gave up to the wealth offered by the Britishers. He never moved from the aim that he had. If Tipu wished, he could have signed an agreement with the Britishers and lived a very happy and comfortable life in his kingdom. But for him, his self-esteem did not agree to this. For him, being a martyr for his land was more acceptable rather than making an agreement with the enemy and living a comfortable life. Dr. R.C. Majumdar praises them this way in one of his books. At that time, contrary to the other Indian rulers, Hyder Ali and his son Tipu Sultan were not ready to come to any agreement with the Britishers. They had the knowledge of the troubles caused by the influence of Britishers in India. Their strong determination and love towards freedom and their stand to refuse any kind of friendship towards Britishers separated them from other rulers of that time. History worth learning, history that the coming generation must know, the history that must not be hidden from the people. Praying to Almighty Lord that He grants the highest position in paradise to these great martyrs, I would like to end with this small look back on history. Join us again tomorrow for the second part of this series. Please show your support by sharing and subscribing to our channel.